My name is Caden. I am 14 years old, and I've been riding for 5 years, and I train with the Moto Academy.
Cooking on the track.
Hello, Albert here with Nick Thury. This is 3 or maybe 4 or 5 or 6 easy steps on how to do a slow wheelie. First question, have you practiced these ever really?
No, not really.
Okay, I can tell. But you're good at them considering I can tell you're good at them just because you're good on a dirt bike. I've never really practiced these either, which is odd. You know what I used to practice was high speed wheelies.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
They're easier though.
First of all, everyone watching, I highly recommend like any type of bike skill related activity, whether it be wheelies, nose wheelies, freestyle tricks, whips, scrubs, obviously within whatever your skill level is, that's building bike skill. So it's super important. Like when I was little, I used to practice tire taps, all types of different stuff. I never really practiced slow wheelies, which is kind of a shame, but I think I'm good enough at them to be able to give you 3 easy steps. So step 1 is go slow enough to be able to initiate the wheelie. I think we were doing that a little different. You were coming off of a roll, and so your initial pop wasn't as much of a pop. You were kind of like rolling into the wheelie, which would make your whole wheelie faster.
Yeah.
So I would say worse.
Yeah.
Where I was able to go super slow, pop it up, which is done with, you use the front brake to basically come to a stop, and then I'm using the clutch to get the basically vertical right off the bat.
And it's more controllable.
Yeah, because you were just shy of the balance area. I think I was able to get it more into a balance area, and that's because I was going super slow.
I just didn't want to show off.
Yeah, true. He's a humble guy. Once you get it up, it's super important that you have a foot over the rear brake. When you get good at finding the balance zone, we'll call it, you don't need the rear brake much. You can kind of just find the zone and not really use the rear brake. One thing I noticed about you too, you were stabbing at the rear brake aggressive. So it was dropping your front, then you were on the gas hard to get it back up. Once you get to the balance zone, it's small adjustments. If you do touch the brake, you barely got to touch it. And then when you do give it throttle and let the clutch out again, barely any throttle, and kind of just keeps it there. So that would be my advice, is when you're using the controls, always have a foot over the rear brake, but be gentle with it when you hit it. Step 3, clutch control. So using the rear brake and going that slow of speed, were you pulling the clutch in kind of the whole time a little bit when you were going? Just to make sure the bike doesn't stall, and just to control and modulate your throttle as well. Because without the clutch, it's gonna be very difficult to give it smooth throttle. Then we have bonus steps for you, because I can't explain this in 3 easy steps. Squeezing with your legs. So when you get vertical like this, the first thing that you'll realize is that you find yourself falling off the back of the bike. If you're falling off the back of the bike, the only thing you're gonna be able to hold on with is your arms. And if you're holding on just with your arms, your clutch control is gonna be poor, and your throttle control is gonna be even worse. So get yourself into a neutral position, square up the best you can. It's pretty close to what your seated position would be the way I teach in a corner, but a little bit more centered on the seat. I just stay as squared up as possible. Grip with the legs like crazy so I can be just working the controls with the hands and not holding on for dear life. I find that balance point, which just requires good clutch control, very slow speed. Final tip, huge tip here. Do it on an uphill.
Oh yeah.
If you're not good at wheelies, or even if you are pretty good at wheelies, it will always be easier going up a hill. So as you can see here, because we're amateurs, we're using this grass hill to just go nice and slow. If you're on a descent, so a downhill, wicked hard, because you have to be it's basically a manual at that point. You have to really be honed in with your where your balance zone is. And then on flat, you end up just gaining speed, I think, too quickly.
Yeah.
So that's our advice from guys that never practice wheelies. Take it or leave it. Subscribe, Scheiße, Guten Nacht, all those good things. He's from Germany, by the way. How do you say subscribe again? Tell them, all right, hang on. Tell them.
Subscribe your channel.
Yeah, subscribe to just say subscribe to the Moto Academy, which.
Also, abonniert den Moto Academy Kanal und folgt alle coolen Videos.